So you're ready to share your love of music with the next generation.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But as anyone who's walked the halls of a high school lately knows, landing that music teacher role, especially in today's world,
Right.
can feel like navigating a whole different concerto.
It absolutely can.
Right.
You're not just competing with other talented musicians.
Right.
You're dealing with tight budgets.
Yeah.
Shifting educational priorities. And then there's the whole world of applicant tracking systems, or ATS,
Oh, yeah.
that schools use these days.
Right. It's like those AI systems are the new judges.
Yeah.
Deciding who gets to audition and who gets a thanks but no thanks.
Right.
RoleCatcher, a website we dug into for this deep dive, calls this the AI Recruiter Challenge.
Okay.
Which, I don't know about you, but that sounds kind of intimidating to me.
It does sound a little intimidating.
Yeah, it's more than just a job board, though, right?
Right, yeah.
They've got some insights into this whole AI thing.
Right. Yeah, they really emphasize understanding this new landscape.
Okay.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
You wouldn't walk into a concert hall, yell, "I play music," and expect a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Your application needs to resonate with both the algorithms and the humans behind them.
Okay, so you got to impress the robots and the people.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It reminds me of something I read in RoleCatcher's Guide for Music Teachers, specifically those aiming for secondary school positions.
Right.
They stressed not just being proficient on, say, your main instrument, but having a broader musical vocabulary.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a whiz on the piano, can you also guide a fledgling trumpet player?
Yeah.
Or even introduce kids to the world of electronic music production?
Precisely. It's not just about your own musical mastery anymore, but your ability to be adaptable, diverse, almost like a musical Swiss Army knife.
I like that.
And that actually plays right into what those AI recruiters are scanning for. Oh, how so?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
When you're inputting your experience, even something like proficient in GarageBand, or mentioning a workshop you took on integrating music tech into the classroom, that sends a signal to the AI that you're not just stuck in the past.
Okay.
You're forward-thinking, digitally fluent.
Yeah.
Music in the 21st century isn't just about sheet music.
So it's like having that extra wow factor.
Yes.
But in this case, it's a tech-savvy glow.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, RoleCatcher also mentions how crucial technology is becoming in music education itself, right?
It really is amazing how tech is changing the game.
Even in something as traditional as music.
Yeah.
It makes me think back to my own music classes. We had a dusty old synthesizer.
And that was about it.
Yeah.
These days.
Who knows what kind of tools are out there to get kids excited about music?
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking everything from music notation software that's as easy to use as a video game,
to digital audio workstations where kids can compose their own pieces.
Yeah.
Even virtual reality experiences that let them visit a concert hall.
Wow.
Or jam with famous musicians.
That's wild.
No wonder being comfortable with those tools is so important for new teachers.
Right.
It's like you've got to meet these kids where they are, right?
Yeah.
And for a lot of them,
They're world IS digital.
it is.
And that actually brings up a point RoleCatcher made that I found really insightful.
Okay.
They talked about how demonstrating your understanding of technology in your application isn't just about listing software, you know? It's about articulating how you've used it to enhance learning.
Okay, so how would you suggest someone actually do that?
Let's say in their CV or resume.
Because I always struggle with that part.
Well, instead of just saying proficient in music production software, think back to specific projects or lessons where you incorporated it. Maybe you helped students create a podcast about different musical genres. Or use digital tools to break down a complex piece of music.
Gotcha.
Highlighting those concrete examples shows that you're not just tech savvy.
You're educationally innovative.
It's like the difference between saying you can bake a cake and actually bringing in a delicious,
multi-layered masterpiece
for everyone to try.
Exactly. Don't tell.
And that same approach applies to the interview process, which
it
can be a bit like a solo performance in front of a very critical audience.
Okay, so you've wowed them with your tech-infused lesson plans on paper.
Right.
Now you're face-to-face with the hiring committee.
Exactly.
Any tips from the RoleCatcher treasure trove of wisdom on how to really nail that interview?
They had a ton of great advice.
But what stood out to me was their emphasis on showcasing not just what you teach, but how you teach it.
Okay.
Remember, music education is about so much more than just technical skill.
Right.
It's about igniting passion, building confidence,
and nurturing creativity.
That reminds me of something else I saw in their guide about differentiating lessons for different learning styles.
Yes.
I bet that's a big one for music, right?
Huge.
Because not every kid learns the same way.
No.
Just like not everyone's going to become a concert pianist.
You're absolutely right.
Some students might thrive on visual aids or hands-on activities,
right,
while others might connect more deeply with the history and theory behind the music.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher emphasized the importance of demonstrating that you understand these nuances and can tailor your teaching accordingly.
So it's about being a bit of a chameleon as a teacher.
Yes.
Adapting your approach to each student's unique needs.
And learning style.
Precisely.
And that kind of flexibility, that ability to meet students where they are,
is pure gold in today's educational landscape.
Speaking of gold,
one of the golden questions RoleCatcher highlighted for music teacher interviews really caught my eye. They suggested being ready to answer how you'd approach teaching a student.
Okay.
Who initially shows little to no interest in music.
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
It really gets to the heart of what it means to be a passionate and effective educator.
Right. Because let's be real.
Not every kid is going to come bouncing into music class.
Right.
Ready to belt out an aria.
So what's the secret?
How do you inspire that kind of enthusiasm in someone?
Who might feel indifferent.
Or even intimidated by music?
Well, I think it starts with remembering that everyone connects with music in some way.
Okay.
Even if they don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's through the storytelling power of lyrics, the emotional resonance of a melody, or even the mathematical precision of rhythm.
It's like you've got to be a bit of a musical detective.
Figuring out what makes each student tick.
Yeah.
And then using that to unlock their own personal connection to music.
Exactly. And sometimes that means thinking outside the traditional sheet music box.
So instead of starting with scales and theory,
right,
maybe you connect with a student who loves video games. By exploring the world of video game soundtracks.
Yeah.
Or showing them how to create their own sound effects.
Now you're speaking their language.
And who knows?
That initial spark of interest could be all it takes to ignite a lifelong passion.
That's what's so magical about teaching, isn't it?
It's not just about imparting knowledge.
Right.
It's about sparking those aha moments, those moments where a student's eyes light up.
Because they've discovered something new and exciting.
And that brings us to another key theme. RoleCatcher highlighted.
Okay.
The importance of ongoing learning and professional development, even for experienced teachers.
Which makes total sense.
The music world is always changing.
Right.
New technologies are emerging.
Yep.
And teaching methods are constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being a lifelong student of music yourself.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is part of what drew you to this field in the first place.
Absolutely.
That love of learning.
Yeah.
That curiosity and desire to keep exploring
is essential for any educator.
And RoleCatcher actually offers some fantastic resources beyond just job hunting.
Oh, really?
Like guides for different career stages, professional development tools, even tips on networking and collaborating with other music teachers.
It's like they've created this whole ecosystem to support music educators throughout their entire journey.
From those first nerve-wracking job applications to, who knows?
Maybe even becoming a department head.
Right.
Or leading workshops for other teachers.
Our possibilities are truly endless.
And that's what I hope our listeners take away from this deep dive.
Yeah.
Yes, navigating the modern job search can be challenging.
But it's also an opportunity to reflect on your own passions, hone your skills, and ultimately make a real difference in the lives of young music lovers.
So as you polish your CV,
practice your interview answers, and maybe even experiment with some new music tech.
Remember this.
You have something truly special to offer the world. Your love of music and your desire to share that passion with the next generation.
Don't be afraid to let that shine through.
To be your authentic self and to never stop exploring the power and the magic of music.
Beautifully said.
And
maybe one day we'll be hearing about the incredible careers of music teachers.
Yeah.
Who got their start inspired by this very conversation.
That would be amazing. So to all our listeners out there,
keep chasing that dream.
Keep making music.
And never underestimate the impact you can have as a music educator in today's world.